Hi everyone, welcome to Neely Hanukkah Sparks. My name is Emma Katz and I am excited to learn with you in honor of this fourth night of Hanukkah. There's a famous machloket when it comes to Hanukkah. How should we light the candles? Beit Shammai says we should light in descending order. On the first night of Hanukkah we have that full Chanukiah, 8 candles, and on the end of Hanukkah we only have 1 candle in our Chanukiah. Beit Hillel, on the other hand, says that we should light in ascending order. We should begin on the first night with 1 candle. Each night we should add until we are left with that full, beautiful Chanukiah filled with 8 candles on the final night of Hanukkah. We paskin like Beit Hillel. However, I believe that if we look into the rationale behind each of their approaches, we can come to understand a deeper understanding of the holiday of Hanukkah. What did Beit Shammai base his opinion on? Interestingly enough, he based his opinion on the 70 Parim, the 70 cows that were brought as karbanot in the Beis HaMikdash on the holiday of Sukkot. Sukkot? There's a lot of parallels between the two holidays, but that's not what we're going into today. So he says there were 70 Parim, these 70 cows, brought throughout the holiday of Sukkot. They were brought in descending order, with 13 brought on the first night and 7 brought on the final day of Sukkot. And in parallel to this, that is how we should light our Hanukkah candles. Why is that? There are 2 possible symbolic reasons for why these parim were given in descending order. The first is that we believe, according to the Gemara, that the 70 nations of the world, which parallel these 70 parim that were brought in the Beis HaMikdash, are in a constant state of spiritual decline. We, as a Jewish people, are concerned with the spiritual energy in the world as a whole, whether it is coming from us as Jewish people or from the 70 nations of the world. And therefore, to combat that constant decline in spirituality in the 70 nations of the world, we want to give karbanot every single day to add to the spiritual energy in the world. The second possible symbolism is that it was to bolster Jewish pride. That we wanted to give the Jewish people a boost and say, with each day, we are going to recognize that if we increase our energy in the world, if we give karbanot, we are going to decrease the influence of the 70 nations of the world on us every single day. So we are giving these 70 parim to parallel the 70 nations to either bolster our Jewish pride or to add back in the spirituality in the world that is declining constantly from the 70 nations of the world. However, what is Beit Hillel's opinion based on? Beit Hillel's opinion is based on the fact that why are we lighting these candles? We are lighting these candles to commemorate the miracle that happened when the Maccabim re-entered the Beis HaMikdash and reclaimed it from the Yevanim. The Yevanim had brought in tumah, they had brought in impurity. They had brought a lack of Kedusha. They had destroyed the holy nature of the Mikdash. And what we're doing when we return to the Beis HaMikdash is we increase that Kedusha. We brought back that purity to the holiest place on earth. So Beit Hillel says, with every day we must remind ourselves that the holiday of Hanukkah is commemorating this reinfusion of holiness. And when it comes to holiness, ma'alin b'kedusha ve'ein moridin. We always go up in holiness. We don't go down. So we paskin like Beit Hillel. But what I think is deeper behind these 2 opinions is what they are really saying about the nature of Hanukkah. What is the holiday of Hanukkah? It is the triumph of light over darkness. Darkness was represented by Yavan because Torah is seen as the ultimate source of light, and they tried not to eradicate our bodies. They did not want to kill us. They wanted to destroy our Torah. They wanted to minimize that light that we add to the world. So what is Beit Shammai saying? Beit Shammai is saying that the way to combat evil, the way to combat darkness is to burn it, to destroy it. That we have to look at evil, at the enemy, and we have to burn it out. We have to get rid of it. That is why we are in this state of using these 70 parim to combat the negative forces that the 70 nations of the world can be bringing into the world. But what is Beit Hillel saying? Beit Hillel is saying that if we look at the world in a way that we are going to be burning out and destroying evil, we're never going to succeed. The nations of the world are not going to recognize what we add to the world. We've seen this throughout history with all the attacks carried out against the Jewish people. They don't recognize what we add. He says the other way to fight darkness is to fill it with light. That when we build ourselves up to be able to constantly increase the Kedusha and in turn the light in the world, that is how we will successfully eradicate darkness from the world. So the reason we paskin according to Beit Hillel is because that is our message of Hanukkah. That ma'alin b'kedusha ve'im moritin. We are aspiring to be in a state of constantly adding Kedusha, and in turn, we will be able to illuminate the world, to fight out the darkness by bringing more light. Happy Hanukkah, enjoy the rest of your holiday, and I look forward to learning together again soon.